rallied and walked throughout their community, picking up litter in a vow to keep Maricopa beautiful. We received dozens of emails from groups showcasing their efforts to keep Maricopa beautiful by collecting multiple bags of litter during the 2-hour only event. To learn more about the next community cleanup event, please visit keepmaricopabeautiful.com.
Good morning, City of Maricopa. We are standing on the north side of town on State Route 347, which is the main entrance into the City of Maricopa. Over the last few years, we've seen tremendous growth with residential and commercial. As growth continues, it gives us the opportunity to do additional projects, one of which is a landscaping project down the 347. It'll go from Honeycutt Road to the north entries of town. This includes trees, landscaping, rock boulders, some metal art deco. There'll be some lighted metal structures all the way down the median. When you pull into the north side of town, we're going to have an impressive monument right in the middle of the road that represents the City of Maricopa, which has been well needed for many years. This project has been years, maybe even decades in the making, with City Council and citizens' requests and responses to increase the beautification of coming into town. We'd like to thank each one of you for the time, effort, energy, and the patience of getting this done. We look forward to having this project completed by the end of the year.
Hi, good morning. This is Mayor Christian Price and Councilman Rich Vitiello. We are here at the grand opening of the new community center, which hosts a wing for the veterans and also a wing for the seniors, so a senior center, as well as a middle area that is a community center where all types of different things can be hosted, or either of those organizations can overflow into it. This is a very exciting day as the seniors have waited long and hard for a dedicated location where they could come and socialize and play cards and do things and have a location that was truly theirs. And so it's a very special day for them and for the veterans and really for the entire city of Maricopa.
I just also want to thank the past and present councils, city managers, everybody, mayors. I don't want to leave anybody out, council members, but without all that prior, today wouldn't have happened. And as I said earlier, without our veterans, we wouldn't be here today. And again, God bless you and thank you for getting us to where we are and living in this greatest country in the world.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everybody, Luis Vila, Communications Coordinator for the City of Maricopa. I'm reporting right inside the brand new Sprouts grocery store with the Senior Project Superintendent, Mike Kelly from AR Mays, who's been working on developing and constructing this very grocery store coming to our community in the very near future. Hi Mike, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the construction process and how everything's gone thus far?
It's actually been a real pleasure to work with the City of Maricopa. From the front office to the building inspectors, fire marshal, fire inspectors, it's gone really smoothly. So here in Maricopa, you guys have done a great job and it's been a great project so far.
And I know some people may be worried that the shelves are empty right now. So when can we expect the actual groceries and everything to be delivered?
The next big step for us here inside the store is going to be to start stocking dry goods. So things are going to start happening real quick.
Okay. Final question. Everyone's really want to know, when is Sprouts going to be open?
Well, I hope you're here the 25th so that you can get your tuna salad.
I will definitely be here, and I hope to see all of you here. For all the latest developments and great things happening with the City of Maricopa, please check out what'snewmaricopa.com. Last week, the City of Maricopa came together for the largest community cleanup campaign in the city's history. Individuals from all walks of life rallied and walked throughout their community, picking up litter in a vow to keep Maricopa beautiful. We received dozens of emails from groups showcasing their efforts to keep Maricopa beautiful by collecting multiple bags of litter during the 2-hour-only event. To learn more about the next community cleanup event, please visit keepmaricopabeautiful.com.
Good morning, City of Maricopa. We are standing on the north side of town on State Route 347, which is the main entrance into the City of Maricopa. Over the last few years, we've seen tremendous growth with residential and commercial. As growth continues, it gives us the opportunity to do additional projects, one of which is a landscaping project down the 347. It'll go from Honeycutt Road to the north entries of town. This includes trees, landscaping, rock boulders, some metal art deco. There'll be some lighted metal structures all the way down the median. When you pull into the north side of town, we're going to have an impressive monument right in the middle of the road that represents the City of Maricopa, which has been well needed for many years. This project has been years, maybe even the decades in the making, with City Council and citizens' requests and responses to increase the beautification of coming into town. We'd like to thank each one of you for the time, effort, energy, and the patience of getting this done. We look forward to having this project completed by the end of the year.
Hi everybody, Luis Vila, Communications Coordinator for the City of Maricopa. I'm reporting right inside the brand new Sprouts grocery store with the Senior Project Superintendent, Mike Kelly from AR Mays, who's been working on developing and constructing this very grocery store coming to our community in the very near future. Hi Mike, how you doing?
Good, thanks.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the construction process and how everything's gone thus far?
It's actually been a real pleasure to work with the City of Maricopa. From the front office to the building inspectors, fire marshal, fire inspectors, it's gone really smoothly. So here in Maricopa, you guys have done a great job, and it's been a great project so far.
And I know some people may be worried that the shelves are empty right now. So when can we expect the actual groceries and everything to be delivered?
The next big step for us here inside the store is going to be to start stocking dry goods. So things are going to start happening real quick.
Okay. Final question. Everyone's really want to know, when is Sprouts going to be open?
Well, I hope you're here the 25th so that you can get your tuna salad.
I will definitely be here, and I hope to see all of you here. For all the latest developments and great things happening with the City of Maricopa, please check out what'snewmaricopa.com.
Thank you for being here this evening. I'd like to welcome you to the City Council regular meeting on Tuesday, February 15th, 2022. At this time, we call the meeting to order, and we'd like to invite Bishop Brian Hoffman from the Maricopa Wells Ward of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He'll give us our invocation, after which we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance given to us by Councilmember Rich Vitiello. If you'd all please stand.
Thank you. If you prepare yourself in the way you're accustomed for prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, our God, we humbly bow our heads and give thee thanks for the opportunity to be here as a city. We give thee thanks and recognize the talents, the energies, and the time that is given selflessly from city leaders, citizens, fire, police, and so many individuals in this city that are striving to make this a wonderful place to live. We're grateful. We pray humbly that a sense of union, a partnership, and helpfulness will be a part of what we do. We pray for thy choicest blessings upon our city leaders, upon the city servants, and those who are building and creating this wonderful environment that we have for friends and family and members of the community. Father, we pray humbly that we can do our best and we can be kind, we can be helpful, and we can be forgiving and help one another as we continue to move this city forward. This we humbly pray and thank thee for in the sacred name of our Savior and Lord, even Jesus Christ. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Thank you, Bishop. Appreciate it. Thank you, Councilmember. That'll take us to the roll call, please.
Councilmember Learman? Here. Councilmember Marsh? Councilmember Smith?
Here.
Councilmember Vitiello? Councilmember Wade? Here. Vice Mayor Manfredi?
Here.
Mayor Price?
Here.
Mr. Mayor, we have a quorum.
Great. Thank you. At this time, that'll take us to the report from the mayor and council. So, council, I'll turn the time over to you. Councilmember Learman.
I was able to attend the Arts Festival, Art for the Heart, and Chalk Arts Fest on Saturday, and it was a great event. There were a lot of artists there that brought their artwork, as well as some artists who did some chalk art. It was beautiful. Judith Diamont from Arts Council was there. Maria Poor from Maricopa High School was there. Taylor Stanton from Maricopa Friends of the Arts was there. It was a beautiful event, good food, great weather. So thank you to everyone who participated in that event.
Thank you very much, Councilmember. Anyone else? Yes. We'll start with Councilmember Smith and go over to Councilmember Marsh.
Thank you, Mayor. So I would like to just, if you would give me the privilege of taking a moment of silence. Today we lost a big servant of the city of Maricopa. His name is Jim Jordan. He served on the MUSD school board. He served for the Maricopa Police Chaplain Group. He has served and taken food and clothing down to the needed in just across the border to Mexico. He has served at the food bank in many ways. The man just had a servant heart. And if you don't mind, because he was such a servant to the city of Maricopa, I would just take 1 minute to remember him. Thank you. So an exciting past couple of weeks. One thing that I want to make sure that I bring up for those who are in attendance here and for those who are watching at home, if you don't know, Pinal County is in the middle of a redistricting process for our county supervisor districts. It's also used for the college districts, and it's a breakup of all, a combination of all precincts and how we're represented by our Board of Supervisors. And we had a meeting on Monday where I was really proud of Maricopa showing up and the residents of Maricopa, because in this new redistricting, they're proposing removing the Tortosa area out of our current district, supervisor district. And we had an overwhelming number of people who have written in on the Pinal County website feedback form, turned in a handwritten form, made sure that the supervisors were well aware of the fact that we were not comfortable with breaking up the city of Maricopa into two different districts, one which just carries the Tortosa area, and it's not even understandable how they would get their voice into the district in which they were being placed. So if you're interested in this, there's a lot of information on inmaricopa.com. Several articles have been written. I implore you to please go to the Pinal County website, hit the redistricting button, and at the bottom of the page, you can actually put in your feedback based on some of the information you've read on in Maricopa and with the monitor. I'd be delighted if you would do that to support Maricopa. This is really, really important for the city of Maricopa, and it's important that they hear your feedback. Believe it or not, I believe we have not had a city council meeting since our futures planning meeting. Right? Okay. So we had an exciting opportunity, all-day event, planning for the future of Maricopa. What's going to go here? What's going to go there? What does this look like? How about if we change this? Just some fascinating stuff. Again, in Maricopa and with the monitor, you can read about that, and I encourage you to do that if you're interested in what's coming forward for the city of Maricopa and our future planning. Then this Friday, I have a senior lunch and learn, and if you're heavily involved in taxes, you might want to come and show up because Dr. Wong, who's a tax expert, is going to be at the Senior Lunch and Learn, 11 o'clock at the library. And you're welcome, even if you don't want to have lunch, to come in and just listen to the process. That would be great. I also attended CAC Stars, which is a dinner where they actually bring forward some of the stars of CAC, those that are in the process of getting their diploma from CAC, those who have graduated from CAC. And one of the coolest pieces of information that I picked up from this event that's important to our high school students is even if you haven't signed the agreement in 8th grade, now you are capable, if your grades, I believe it's like a B or higher, if your grades are B or higher without filling out the form in 8th grade that says you're going to work hard on your grades, stay out of drugs, that type of thing, they are now offering a free 2-year scholarship at CAC without signing that form. So it's pretty exciting and quite an opportunity for seniors who are graduating who want to get a start on their college degree. And then if you haven't seen the horses outside, take your time and look at them on your way out because they are beautiful. So thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Councilman Marsh.
Yeah, I've had a busy 3 weeks too. With Rick's annual futures planning meeting, it sort of kicked off the spring semester here. We got to learn all the secrets that he has in his head for the city going forward. On Friday, the 21st of January, I attended the Pinal Partnership Breakfast, another informative meeting. On the 26th of January, I attended the Retirement Board meeting, and also a celebration of the new city monument with rest of council and the youth groups that originally proposed the new monument that's going up on the 347 entry into the city. On the 27th, Thursday, I was on the Pinal County Board of Adjustment and Appeals, and we handled, I believe, 5 cases. On the 28th, Friday, Morning Scoop with Arizona State University President Michael Crow, giving a recap of what ASU has done for the state and what they have planned for the coming year. Then on Monday the 27th, I attended the redistricting meeting at the county complex here in Maricopa that Nancy discussed. On February 8th, Tuesday, I was on the Pinal County Water Augmentation Authority Board, and they announced a proposed plan to raise the level of Bartlett Dam on the Verde River to increase its capacity and potentially bring more water into the CAP channel. They also discussed Lake Powell, The lake is closing in on its minimum power pool, which means it won't be able to generate electricity, and it won't be able to drain water into the Colorado River in the coming 2 to 4 years. Lake Powell is close to its minimum power pool. Lake Mead is at Tier 1 shortfall. That's 1,051 feet altitude, and it's projected to go much lower in the near future. Also on Tuesday the 28th, I attended the Maricopa Community Advocates meeting. On the 10th of February, there was an online discussion and presentation with Steve Wozniak, the co-founder of Apple, who developed the first Apple computers. That's part of the Arizona Speaker Series. Woz was a lucky geek, a partner of Steve Jobs. He was a young man at the right place at the right time with the right skills to kick Apple off. And he had some fun stories to tell about those early days at Apple. On Monday the 14th, there was a planning and zoning meeting here in this room. It ran long as the commission seemed to take lots of side conversations that had nothing to do with the task at hand. They seem to have a hard time staying on task. Perhaps they need some training. Upcoming in the near future, I'm starting a series of seminars I'll be attending regarding getting the most for our city from the federal government's infrastructure bill. On February 25th, Exceptional Healthcare will host their hospital's groundbreaking ceremony. I've been hearing good things from some people I know who are patients at the new hospital. On February 26th, Saturday, is the city's and AARP's shredding event at Copper Sky, where you can shred all those old tax documents you don't need anymore. On March 2nd, there's the supervisors redistricting vote over in Florence, and I encourage anyone who can to attend. On March 3rd, at 11 a.m., the Copa Flats apartment complex will be doing its groundbreaking. That's at 17485 North Porter Road at 11 a.m. on Thursday the 3rd. On Saturday, the 5th of March is the Master Gardener's plant sale. That's at 8 a.m. at the U of A Ag Center. That's where you can get all those neat tomato plants to plant them for this summer. On the 7th, Monday, the Historical Society meets at the library. And last, at 6 p.m. on the 17th, that's St. Patrick's Day, the Vice Mayor and the Mayor will host an update on the 347 at the library. That's key. That's about all.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Anything else? Okay, got it. With that, just very briefly, had the opportunity to guest lecture at ASU, and that was rather interesting to be asked to do that. We did so on municipal governments, and I got to talk to a bunch of students about how we work here and those types of things, so it was a lot of fun. But then wanted to thank all of you. I don't know if you've had the opportunity to participate, but a lot of times we go out there on our Facebook pages or things like that, and we talk about help that we need as the Arizona State Legislature is in session. And one of the things you may or may not be aware of is how many bills the state legislature puts on a committee that may or may not make it through the process, but absolutely destroy your ability or our ability as a city to operate, and therefore your ability as citizens in that city to have the goods and services that you want, to have the say that you want in the way your city is run. And so oftentimes we're putting those things out there. And recently we had a bill that was out there that was heavily publicized. It basically was going to obliterate zoning. It was going to obliterate your say in zoning. And it was just an absolutely terrible bill. There's an underlying premise to it, which I think is a good piece and a good thing, but it was supposed to go through a stakeholder process. It did not. It just hit the ground running when the legislature opened. And I get it. You all have busy lives, and there's lots of things that happen at the state legislature that you just have no idea that's going on. But if I can admonish you to please do your best to check on your state legislature legislature, what bills are going through which committees, I think you would be absolutely stunned at the amount of things that are looking to take away your authority and your freedoms. Even though this is a conservative state and it's a state that is looking to do so under a lot of guise and premise that sounds good on the surface, the reality is that we're doing a lot on our side to protect your rights and the rights of the city to continue to operate. Again, I want to thank you because that particular bill I was mentioning got so much public feedback from all of you, and I would credit Maricopa especially because they went through the committee and they rang people's phones off the hook. And I will say that they pulled the bill. It is now going back to a stakeholders group, at which point the League of Arizona Cities and Towns has done a lot of research and is bringing forth our own solutions to this so that, you know, your rights are protected, the city's ability to operate is protected, and that ultimately we can come up with something better that really truly accomplishes the premise and the goal of the bill in its truest form, rather than conglomerating it with a whole bunch of things that just didn't make a lot of sense. And just to give you a quick sample, under this bill, if someone wanted to put up a 7-story building under the guise of affordable housing right by an airport, they could. Now, I don't know about you, but if you have a 7-story building next to an airport, the airport doesn't work anymore. It doesn't run. So it destroys everything there. If you had a big area that was set aside for commercial and you wanted to provide, you know, enough land to bring in a big industry like let's say a Lucid, for example, and it was going to manufacture all kinds of things and it needed 500 contiguous acres. If someone came in and purchased a little place right in the middle of it and dropped something they called affordable housing, it would destroy the entire commercial project and you couldn't do anything about it. And so these are the types of things that happen at your state legislature. They start with good ideas and sometimes they go askew in the writing of them and what ultimately gets dropped. Just so you know, we're running 4 bills right now as a city. That's a lot for an individual city. We are going down, we're testifying at the legislature on a regular basis, myself, staff, others, and we're working with our contracted lobbyists, we're working with the Arizona League of Cities and Towns, but these are how you move some of these antiquated issues forward so that we can have more transparency, we can make things more efficient, and ultimately so that we can move forward with the desires that all of us hear from you guys every day about the things you want to see here. And I can't tell you how often we're frustrated that things don't move faster than they do, but we have to sometimes resolve a law or an impediment that comes from the state level that we're subject to. And so unless we want to go out and spend your money frivolously on a lawsuit and raise your taxes because we're going to lose that lawsuit, that doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. So what we're trying to do is fix those laws and do our best to make sure that we can move this state forward and ultimately your city forward as fast as we can. So that's the report at this time from your mayor and council. This time we'll move to a report from the city manager. Nothing from the city manager, thank you. This will take us to the call to the public. I do have 2 speaker cards. At this time, I'd ask that you come forward. Please make sure that the little green button on the microphone is appearing so that we can all hear you. I'll give you 3 minutes so that make sure we're fair to everybody in here. But if Irvin Cutright and Aubrey Morris are here, would you please come forward and talk to us tonight about Black Heritage Music Festival. Be a little, oh, did you get that? No. There's a little button on there, and it's a green light. You'll know it says push, and then when the light's on, you'll know you're live.
We knew that.
There you go. You're amazing.
I'll start off. I was here at the last event. My name is Aubrey Morris. I'm the producer for the Maricopa Black Heritage Music Experience, and with me is Irvin Cutright, our CPA and consultant, which we've done these events in multiple cities throughout metropolitan Phoenix area. And while he's doing that, I would like to personally present the City Council with some complimentary tickets to this weekend's event.
My name is Irvin Cutright. I'm a Arizona native. I went to school here, Glendale Community College, ASU, played football here, so I'm very familiar with this state. We're here representing the Black Heritage event that's happening next weekend. we're bringing in 8 to 10 national artists to this event during Black History Month. This will be the second event that we've had. Mr. Morris has done this. We've done this in Phoenix on a couple occasions. We have the largest Black History celebration in Phoenix that we've have under our belt that we've done over the last 2 years. Everything's been shut down, so we have not did anything. But this is the only Black History event that's happening in the metropolitan Phoenix area. Is this metropolitan Phoenix? I'm not, anyway,
Yeah.
in the Phoenix area, yeah. And what we've done, we tried to make this event affordable for the most number of persons. We are giving out tickets to educators to come and be a part of what we're doing. We want to make this quality events affordable for just about anyone that want to come to this event. We would like to make this a destination. It's the only event going anymore. We'd like to make this a destination event for Maricopa. And also we're working on next year during Super Bowl, we're working on, I'm having a meeting with Larry Fitzgerald and some of the guys. We would like to propose this be a Super Bowl sanctioned event next year. So we're optimistic that this thing can happen. We've given out 50 passes to teachers, educators. We've given out another 50 passes to a person that just can't afford to come to the event but want to be a part of what we're doing. Now the good part is, this is the good part. We're proposing that the city of Maricopa partner with us to offset some of the costs associated with it. We've been pretty much doing it on our own, and this is like a $50,000 event. We'd like to invite the city of Maricopa to be a part of what we're doing by helping to offset some of the financial costs associated with the event. The part that what we had in mind was $10,000. If you guys want to give us more than $10,000, we'll take it. So we're hustling money to make this event a successful event going forward. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it. Thank you again. I look forward to that event and look forward to the many great things you guys are going to do ahead in the coming years. At this time, we'd like to offer the mic to Mr. Barry McCain.
Good evening, Mayor Price and Maricopa City Council. My name is Barry McCain from Arizona City. I'm with the Arizona Veterans with Disabilities, Arizona Farm Bureau, Black Wall Street, Arizona, and a Freedom Rider that hasn't been done for 61 years. In my years of career of the United States Navy, I've seen a lot of strange things. The legislature, Mayor, thank you for talking about the legislature. I'm having trouble with that. But Malcolm X said, history is not hatred. I love my country. I was raised on God, country, family. But after a career in the United States Navy, what I'm saying, I've got too many people who think that they run for a political office because they stand taller while they're standing in someone else's rubbles of their reputation, job, or ideas. During this time with the legislature, we have to work, leadership has to work innovatively and collectively because this legislature seems to have forgotten history. When you forget history, we're in trouble. So, being at the legislature, thank you for giving my frustration, but we're going to be here. We have to take the best of the past and turn it into a preferred future. So that's what I plan to do for the 100 days here. Thank you for your help, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Anyone else at this time like to approach the podium, tell us what's on your mind? You're more than welcome to do so. Please.
You can probably guess why I'm here.
Tell me, Elizabeth.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, City Manager. I remembered everybody's name this time. I'm here to promote the Shredathon that Bob so graciously talked about. It's an event that happens every year. This is our 4th year doing it, and it's totally free. but we do ask if you could spare it that you bring any non-perishable food items to donate to the FOR Food Bank. And last year we did we did a lot, about twice as much food as the year before, and for the shredding, we got a little over 7.5 tons of paper shredded. The truck holds 14 tons, so we're aiming to fill the truck. So please, everybody, bring whatever you've got. Those of you at home, it's an easy drive over to Copper Sky. We're in the north parking lot in the gravel, so that we're not obstructing any parking places. And we'll be there from 9 to 1. We were going from 10 to 2, but it gets really hot in February in the afternoon, and we all got sunburned. So we're aiming for 9 to 1. It's the last Saturday in February, that it'll be the 26th. So I appreciate everybody that can come and tell all your friends. And basically, we're only taking paper and cardboard. No computer discs, no nothing like that. The truck won't like the truck. And the way it works is you just drive in. We'll have people there to take the food out of your car for you. You don't have to get out. You don't have to wear a mask if you don't want to. And then you drive down the road a little bit further, and there's the truck, and we'll have more people to take your boxes or crates of paper, dump it into their bin, give you back your cartons, and you can drive away, and all of that's taken over to the truck, dropped in the hopper, and it's shredded immediately. So there's nothing that's going to be flying around in the landfill with your name on it. It all gets shredded. And what the truck does with it, I have no idea. I don't know. But it's a great event. We have really good participation, and I hope we have more people coming this year since we have more residents in the city. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Appreciate it. Anyone else at this time? Okay, we'll go ahead and close the call to the public. Thank you for your participation. We appreciate it. We love hearing from you, and we love trying to figure out what we can do to work together. At this time, Council, we're going to move, typically we would move to the consent agenda, but because of the way that this agenda is structured, we actually have a public hearing, which is our only item on the regular agenda. So with your permission, I'd like to move the regular agenda forward first, so that we actually hit 8.1, which is the public hearing. That'll allow us to deal with that first. And then if all things are aligned and move forward, there is a action item on the consent agenda about this public hearing item. So again, if we want to, we can pull it off, or we can deal with it separately, but it just seems to make the most sense to move 8.1 forward. So with that, let's start by moving 8.1. This is PH 2202. The Mayor and City Council is here public comment for the purpose of considering a transit program, Section 5311 grant application from the Federal Transit Administration through the Arizona Department of Transportation that will be used to continue operations of the transit system. Interested persons or agencies shall be heard with respect to social, economic, and environmental aspects of the project. Interested persons may submit oral or written evidence and recommendations with respect to the project. This time, I don't believe we have anything written. So is there, Rick, do we have anybody that's going to present on this tonight?
Mayor, Council, this is just requesting permission to apply for the grant application.
Okay.
So it's pretty cut and dry. That's all we're asking for right now, if anybody has any public comments.
Got it. Pretty straightforward. Council, do you have any questions of Mike at this time? If not, I'll go ahead and open the public hearing on this item and this item only. If you'd like to approach the podium and talk about the transit program, you may do so. Okay, seeing no one, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing at this time, and that will complete item 8.1, and we'll move to the consent agenda. Council, before we hit consent, I actually would like to pull an item that I have some questions on, and maybe we can get those questions answered, but that has to do with item 7.6, which is the ordinance of the Mayor or City Council prohibiting the storage or placement of debris and construction material on a public street and providing the severability thereof. I have a few questions as it pertains to that. So I guess my question is I guess what is the problem we're trying to solve here?
We have landscapers and others who are putting their materials in the street. It's blocking stormwater, and when it does rain, it washes into the stormwater. It blocks the road access points. It sometimes impedes the flow of traffic for emergency runs. They do that without permit or permission, sometimes in front of stoplights and stop signals. It's really, impeding the flow of traffic and using the public domain for personal use by private contractors.
I guess my next question would be you talked about a permit. What does a permit cost, and how difficult it is to get a permit?
Well, in most cases, if it's a large construction project, it's an encroachment permit, and that's a fairly simple process. We do it all the time. But for instance, if someone wants to landscape their front yard and they want a pile of gravel, they should put it on their driveway, not in the street. The other problem is, as you know, we have some dark sky streets, and cars turn corners and don't see them. There's no banners or flagging or fluorescents that warn people they're there. So, if they wanted to get a permit, put it in the street instead of their driveway, we probably wouldn't grant it. We'd just say, put it in your driveway. Car parked in the street is legal. You have the fluorescent taillights, headlights that show being there. It's proper, but the debris fields would not be.
Go ahead, Councilman.
So we're not talking about actual landscaping debris. We're talking about if somebody buys 4 tons of rock and they're going to spread them in their backyard, they put them in the street, and then over the next week or 3-4 days, as they wheelbarrow them to the back, it sits there.
And frankly, it's rarely the citizens. It's the contractors doing work for the citizens that do it. It could be piled of filled dirt for laying, tile in the backyard, or landscape materials, or the bricks if they're bricking. Some of them have the brick now, the pavers, whatever those things may be. We're just asking they keep the roads free and clear. As you know, a lot of our streets are pretty narrow anyway. When cars park in them, you begin to make it difficult for the larger service vehicles, not just fire trucks, but garbage trucks, everything else to get through. But it's really a public safety matter from our point of view. Staff, does anyone else? Chief, you have anything you want to share on that? Yeah, the attorney also mentioned very quickly, we want to make sure we protect ourselves from liability. If there's chemicals or other things in the materials and it flows down and gets on someone's yard, it kills their plants or grass, those type of things, we don't know. Chief?
Mayor Price, City Council, this is something we've been getting complaints on over the last couple of years. 20 tons of gravel in a roadway impedes traffic. Also, if they use a skid steer to move the material, it tears up our roads. So, as the city manager said, as we continue to grow and as we get more traffic on the roadways, it's imperative to keep our roads clean.
So what is the process going to be? I mean, Councilor Manfredi just gave a good example as we were sitting here chatting, that, a lot of, I don't mean to point out any one company, but let's say landscaper or rock deliverer A comes along and they're not putting down DG here, right? They're putting down, large river rock. Oftentimes they will not put it in your driveway because the fear of them dumping it going onto your driveway means the driveway is going to crack and they're going to be responsible for that. So they won't do that. They'll put it in the street. I mean, what is the process going to be that are we educating these folks to do this? Is there going to be an alternative form by which it can be done? I look at the citizen and I think that, the average person that lives in a neighborhood does just what Councilman Manfredi said. They dump their 1/4-inch, brown rock that they're going to landscape their backyard with, and over the next 24, 48 hours, they wheelbarrow it back to the back and get it all cleaned up. Again, I understand the nature of the streets. I understand the nature of, but I'm also trying to find a balance here between, the average homeowner. Now, if this was a someone that is going through major problems, and every week there was a pile there, or they lived on a particular corner that it was a blind spot, or these types of things. I understand all that, and I certainly understand wanting to keep the roads clear, especially from a stormwater perspective. But I'm also trying to find that balance for that average homeowner that says, hey, I landscape my yard once every 10 years, and it's time, and they won't dump it in the front driveway. What am I supposed to do?
Well, in most cases, it's not the do-it-yourselfer type project. It is, I mean, even if they do it themselves, the contractor's delivering the load. But we can show you pictures where they used the skidders and damaged our asphalt, that chipped away the curbs, all those type of things that are causing damage to the public right of way, which then the public taxpayer has to pay to go fix. We're also looking at spills, whether it be hydraulic fluids or other things into the streets and whatever. We encourage them to put down a tarp before they dump the load on the sidewalk. That type of gravel shouldn't work, but frankly, that's a matter between my opinion, the homeowner and the deliverer of supplies that does that. And frankly, we have the same issue with new builds. You know, if you drive up and down our new build construction areas, they put all their dumpsters right on the curbs and sidewalks. And every time they pick them up and put them down, they're slamming and putting grooves and cuts and all those things into the sidewalk. And so we're going to be probably coming back to you to address that one too, asking for the home builders to put a deposit to say that you need to fix it before you get your certificate of occupancy, or we can keep your money and fix it ourselves. We do anticipate a publication process. It will take some time. We're not asking for any fees or penalty fees or anything else like that, but we want to be able to educate the people that, and again, it's not so much the private citizens, it's the people, the suppliers, because there's only so many suppliers who bring the rock, that bring the dirt and all those type of things. We want to work and communicate with them to solve the problem. In my opinion, in most cases, it's just the supplier finding the path of least resistance.
So let me ask you another question. So you talk about fees or fines. I mean, the purpose of an ordinance is to obviously drive compliance, but what are our fees or fines there? How are they going to be initiated? Because, you know, I'm the homeowner. I ask, you know, deliverer A to put it in my driveway. I wasn't home. I come home and it's in the street. Who gets fined?
Well, as with all of our code enforcement, starts as a nuisance complaint, and we always allow for a remedy. As I mentioned, 97% of our code complaints are self-resolved without penalties. A lot of times, well, I didn't know, I'll get it fixed. So rather than taking 4 days to bring the rock around back, you know, and spread it as you want, bring all the loads, make another pile around back, and then spread it out. You know, just get it done quicker. So I don't think we're looking to penalize anyone from that point of view. But if we have a supplier who keeps doing it over and over again, then yes, we'll probably find some kind of nuisance violation under our nuisance codes, which are in the book, and I don't remember exactly what those fine levels are, but they start pretty minimal and then will escalate based on reoccurrence. But it's just like some of our solid waste haulers. You know, there are those who pack their supplies good, and those that when they drive down the road, it blows out the back and goes up and down the road. You know, and that shouldn't be up to the taxpayers to do the job they're getting paid to do right the first time.
Gotcha.
So maybe, you know, it certainly would be an education. I don't think the intent's to go after a citizen, but it is to go after the contractors.
Council, any other questions, concerns, issues? Thank you. That answers my questions. All right, that'll take us to item 7.1 through 7.8 for consent. Is there any other concerns or questions on this? Seeing none, can I have a motion to approve, please? I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Okay, that completes our agenda for this evening. Thank you all for being here. We will see you here again in 2 weeks. And thank you much. Motion to adjourn, please. Is there a second? And a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.